Once you develop a scan, you've got things made. But the problem is, you can't just settle for one scan pattern for everything. You have to include different instruments in your scan depending upon what you are doing at the time. And you have to speed up your scan when more things are happening. There are 4 instruments for pitch control in the aircraft, and they are the attitude indicator, the airspeed indicator, the altimeter, and the VSI. There are 3 main instruments for bank control, and they are the heading indicator, the turn coordinator, and the attitude indicator. And we can also use the magnetic compass if the heading indicator should fail. And in the Skyhawk, there are 2 instruments for power control, and they are the airspeed indicator and the tachometer. The instrument that most directly tells you what you need to know about pitch, bank, or power is called the primary instrument for that element. Tells you what you need to know. The general rule is when you are not making any changes, the primary instrument is the one you are trying to hold constant. For instance, in straight and level flight, you're trying to hold both the heading and the altitude constant, so you can fly on an assigned altitude while you follow the airway. Well, the heading indicator is the only instrument that tells you if you're flying the heading that you need to fly, and whether or not you need to turn to the right or to the left to get back to that heading. So, the heading indicator is primary for bank control in level flight. Now, as I stated earlier, if the heading indicator fails, the magnetic compass becomes primary for bank control in level flight. Again, because it tells you what heading you're actually on. Now, how about pitch control? Well, the altimeter is the only instrument that tells you whether you're at your assigned altitude and whether you need to climb or descend to get back to it. So the altimeter is primary for pitch control in level flight. And what about power control? The airspeed indicator is normally primary for power control. When you're changing power settings to change your airspeed in level flight or to start a climb or descent, temporarily the tachometer becomes primary for power. During a constant airspeed descent or climb, the airspeed indicator becomes primary for pitch because it's the only instrument that tells you if you're descending or climbing at your desired airspeed. But in a constant rate descent or climb, the VSI becomes primary for pitch. In every case, the important question